Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, or whatever ungodly hour you find yourself listening. We are the Bards Against Humanity, and we are here to strum your loot and absolutely wreck your ear holes. So prepare for a podcast that's going to hit harder than a nat one in bed, because we're coming in your ears. Take it away!
That's right. Today we are obviously here with Dan.
Why did I take that
Leo.
moment to take a fucking sip of my cup of tea?
I don't know. I even said it before we started. This is what we do. Because we have a brand new guest with us today, and that is Kane. Hey, Kane.
How's it going, lads?
Nice. See, look, right? Kane, about to say today we are going to talk about the monk class. Kane is our specialist in this, but it is his first episode. Kane, how do you feel about it? You excited?
I'm excited, yeah. I'm interested to see your opinion on how things have changed with the new flavoring and the new rules.
And I'm also interested to see what you think about the new flavoring and new rules. We will get into that later on in this episode. A lot has changed about the monk. A fuck ton has changed about the monk. A lot has also stayed the same. They've gotten some serious upgrades, and most importantly, they've renamed Key for some reason.
I always pronounce it as Chi. I always assume that's how Chi was spelled, though that would require a CH, not a K.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is your.
I just feel like it would make more sense.
Key, pronounced Quay.
Fuck off. That's
English
Quay.
language, everybody. No, that's Key.
No Quay. No Quay, boy.
Yeah. Telling a dyslexic person that Quay is pronounced Key is probably the ultimate fuck you.
It really is. I can confirm myself.
Luckily, we have enough dyslexic friends where we can use that joke multiple times. Isn't that right, Kane?
It is indeed, Leo.
Kane is our first dyslexic guest, but will not be our last.
We got one more.
It's a weird flex, but it's a flex we have.
The fact that, we have a couple of dyslexic friends. I wouldn't necessarily...
We have so many.
We have so many. I mean, we say so many,
percentage-wise,
like,
it's got to be
2.
Yeah, but there's like fucking 6 of us. That's a third.
True.
You're introducing it like I'm a rarity.
Rails. Well, I've just said that, a third of our group is dyslexic, so...
It's okay, Kane, you're the diamond in this group.
Yeah.
The diamond soul, like one of the monk abilities used to be called. And you see,
so, lads, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Doing my research for the monk, I was confused. So normally how I do it is I have a look at 2014 if I haven't played it before, which I haven't. I've never touched monk. And then I'm like, okay, this is the vibe. And then I look to see what they've changed. I got confused in 2014 and then got more confused by 2024. And then I was like, oh, let me have a look at stuff that's changed, trying to do up my notes. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm typing anymore. So I'll be completely, for me, this is nearly a reacts video. I will be, when that first Spanish kid comes into your TY class and they obviously don't know English very well. They're there to learn English. And they don't look at the teacher, they look at everyone else's response. And they work on body language. That's going to be me today.
You're going to be using all of your ear senses to gauge the reactions, is what I'm hearing.
I'm gonna daredevil the shit out of this.
All right. So what I'm hearing is I can take the lead and you guys give your opinions alongside.
Pretty much. Maybe Kane can take the lead a little bit as well. But it's not going to be me.
Okay, done his homework.
Kane has done a little bit of homework now.
There's like the later abilities I understand. I'm not illiterate, if you get me. Like, we still have the epic boon, that's still baller, but that's much later. It's the early stuff. It's where we all interconnect that confuses me.
Interconnect in the great circle of life.
In the great circle of monk. And apparently, it is not a jungle out there.
They lied to us. Okay.
Oh, it's such an obscure show. No one else watched it.
I suppose what we might as well do is we'll get right into it and dig right in and get you guys caught up to speed on what exactly the fuck a monk is. So the long and short of it is monks are able to kind of use and tap into the natural power of the body, which used to be called ki, and channeling it in ways to strike harder, to kind of like flow a little bit like water and, be a little bit more evasive. And kind of basically the entire mantra of the class is my body is a temple and it's going to fuck you up if you decide to come inside. Title of your sex tape, I guess. So their whole shtick is they don't need to wear armor. They're deadly with any weapon you put in their hands, and especially their fists are going to hurt like fucking hell. And one of the abilities they get at level 1, which has not changed from either edition 2014 or 2024, is their unarmored defense, which at base their armor class without wearing a shield or armor is equal to 10 plus their dexterity modifier plus their wisdom modifier. So as the campaign grows, it's going to get exponentially better. Always good to have an unarmored AC. Same with the barbarian. I'm trying to think, is there any other classes that grant it other than sorcerer subclass of draconic sorcery? Unless anyone has anything to
I
correct me on.
think it. No, because wizards use mage armor to boost up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just monk and barbarian,
Which would make
alongside
sense.
the sorcerer.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Nothing has changed. It's awesome. Who doesn't love being able to just wear a loincloth and be more defensive than someone wearing basic leather armor?
I wear a loincloth.
When you could be wearing nothing at all. Like that stupid sexy Flanders.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
That's sexy Flanders.
Sexy Flanders.
One of the other things they get at level 1 is martial arts. It has changed a little bit in the new editions. So basically, the long and short of it is they can use their dexterity modifier, or their dexterity score, to base their unarmored strikes and monk weapons with rather than strength, which dexterity is going to be one of, if not their primary stat. Before, in 2014, the base damage dice of your unarmored strikes was allowed to be a d4. Now, with the new changes, it's now at base a d6. So already starting off with a slightly higher damage average.
Who doesn't love a slight increase?
As we
I know
keep
I do.
saying. You say that with some sort of innuendous implications there, Kane?
Oh yeah. That's why I named it to begin with. A slight increase.
A slight increase.
For all you ladies out there, a slight
You heard
increase.
it here first.
Anyway, their damage dice for their unarmored strikes scales with their level. Beforehand, it was a d4 until 5th level, when it changed to a d6. And then at 11th level, it changed to a d8. And at 17th level, it changed to a d10. So each of your punches was dealing progressively more damage as you went. Now, it's the same levels for increases, except now the maximum cap is a d12. So at 5th level, it increases from a d6 to a d8, then to a d10 at 11th level, and a d12 at 17th level. So you're going to be hitting harder.
Lovely. I don't. To be fair, I don't think that's. It's obviously a nice change, but I don't think that's the biggest change for it at level 1. If you get me, because
for it.
actually, what Kane said, like kind of like just before we started recording, is that he does dexterity builds, and this is where oh, fuck off. I'm not even dyslexic. Dexterous. Dexterous. It's sounding like a
Dexterous?
fucking dinosaur. Dexterous.
Yep.
Attacks where you can use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier for your attack and damage rolls to unarmored strike and monk weapons, which I think is quite nice. In addition, when you use the grapple or shove option in your unarmed strike, you can use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier to determine the save DC.
Yeah, which Leo found out at before this recording happened, that grappling rules have changed in 2024.
Yeah, it sucks.
Doesn't really.
I don't like
did
the
you?
save DC. You don't like
you-
it. I think if because one of those things where it's like you could roll really high. So like I have currently on the character that I have is plus 16. Like, and if they have a really high roll as well, then it's just whoever rolls better. Do you know what I mean? Two Goliaths trying to just fucking hug each other. Who can hug each other best? And it just kind of gets rid of that. I don't know. But we're talking monk today.
I feel like I like the changes because this makes it so that when you are going to make that grapple attack initially, it's the same save DC that is on a spell cast with like a save DC. So it's not a rollies like you were saying there with the barbarian class. It's just the same as a magical spell. Try and
It
proc
makes
off.
way more sense. It makes way more sense in D&D. Don't get me wrong, but I liked how it didn't make sense.
It did kind of make sense before, though, at the same time. You can make an argument for both making sense. Like, your strength of being able to hold on to the target versus their ability to either break that hold or wriggle their way out of it. Was how it used to be before, but now it's a case of it's more of like they're trying to save against the action versus trying to break the action from happening as it's happening, if you get me. And it now also directly ties into legendary resistances.
That's so true.
With the grapple condition, you're effectively restrained. Your movement speed is 0. You have disadvantage on attack rolls against anything but the grappler. So it's something that a smarter enemy would not want to be tied down by unless they have a way to get out of it later. So it's something that can be used to kind of whittle away at those oh so annoying legendary resistances. If that's another way to think of it.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, I think as a level 1 for the monk, it sets up something, I just don't know what. These are nice, but it's, for me, obviously, I'm obviously the fighter barbarian guy, it's like, oh, these are cool. Do they want me to be Bruce Lee? I don't know. Jackie Chan? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Religious? Very confusing. So what happens at level 2?
One of the other changes that happened still at level 1, just underneath their martial arts things, is beforehand, if they took the attack action, they could make an unarmed strike as a bonus action. Now they don't need to take the attack action, they just have an unarmed strike as a bonus action, flat.
My apologies.
That was just the last thing to do. Kane, would you take us through level 2 a little bit?
Alright, so with level 2 in the 2014 rules, yeah, so starting at the second level, you gain the key points. And the key points will allow you to use various techniques to either get out of the way of enemies' movements, take like a dodge action, or dash as a bonus action. It just gives them more utility for in combat fights.
Combat fights.
That's what it says.
A wild sentence.
Yeah, I know. I'm blabbing. I'm blabbing.
I really hate those non-combat fights.
You know, when you're battling with words.
I am. I'm always
Wait.
battling with words.
I love that as a description for dyslexia. It's like I'm in a constant war with words.
But I'm also just thinking about this now. I was also kind of right because a lot of fights also happen with theater of the mind.
Are you trying to bullshit your own bullshit? I respect.
Do you know what?
I think you're still just saying the same thing, but just with more words.
What is this? College?
No, I don't have a degree. Clearly.
You're ready for one.
Actually, I don't know why. It just came to mind now as well. Do you remember you guys have played Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I've always found funny is, you know, the way that you as the main character, you're the Dragonborn, and you can essentially absorb the dragon's soul to fuel your shouts, which you get the words from the word walls and stuff all around Skyrim. What's always been really funny to me is dragons using magic. They, of course, use the draconic tongue. So essentially, a battle between dragons has just been one big violent debate.
Interesting. I thought you were about to say that it's big violent tonguing.
That's certainly one way to put it. Very seductive way to put it, but it's certainly one way to put it.
I
Be
think
sure
it's
to
the
use that
only
the next time you
practical
start
way.
browsing some Rule 34 things, and
Well, this is all just one violent tonguing.
certainly something there, Leo.
You think I'd be allowed in public places after being like, oh, this debate's just a violent tonguing? Get him off the mic.
just get him off the mic. With regards to the key points, as Kane was mentioning earlier on, starting off at level 2, you get them. So you have a number of key points equal to your monk level. So you can have maximum of 20. You'll have at base a minimum of 2. Most abilities would only require you to use 1 key point. Some will require you to use more. With regards to the save DC, how that is calculated is 8 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom modifier. So usually, if you have like a maximum of 20 in your wisdom score, you'll have a modifier of +5, so your save DC will be at maximum in and around 19, which is quite high for a load of lovely little stuff. However, for some reason, they've changed to calling them focus points. I believe I remember coming across why they changed it. I cannot for the life of me remember why.
Oh, I see. I thought I was about to learn something. Never mind.
I would love to be able to make you learn something, but I don't know why.
Me learned something? That's impossible.
That's impossible. Fucking Ralph from fucking Simpsons. Me fail English? That's impossible.
I'm glad someone got the reference.
I've seen a lot of Ralph Wiggum. Fuck me, Jesus Christ. Ralph Wiggum. Ralph.
You're welcome, people.
Wiggum Core on TikTok.
I'm glad it's loud and strong. That's all I'm saying.
Loud, it's loud and strong.
Yeah. This is gonna be the flubby podcast today.
It's the episode where nothing goes right.
Iconic that you bring a dyslexic onto the podcast for the first time and no one can fucking speak.
Yeah. No. You know what? There's the line. I found it. It's right there. Don't do it, Dan. Don't do it. There's the line. We found it.
We found it. Apparently, we found it. All right. Okay, what else did I get at level 2? Because I think
You think?
I just realized I started a sentence and did not finish it.
You stopped midway through.
I'm a fucking I'm awful for that.
Yeah. Half an hour in. I'm so glad we've barely started level 2. This is gonna be a short episode, guys.
It could be a real short episode. Strap in.
In addition to getting key points at level 2, they also gain their unarmored movement. Your speed increases by 10 feet while you are not wearing armor or wielding a shield. This bonus increases when you reach certain monk levels.
So it's plus 10 feet at 2nd level, so you'll be moving around, zipping around, usually at about 40 feet around. Increases to 15 feet at 6th level, increases to 20 extra feet at 10th, to 25 feet at 14th level, and to an extra 30 feet at 18th level. So you will be zipping around the battlefield in no time.
Zip, zipperoo.
Keep in mind that you also get the key point to bonus action dash on top of that. So if you take your main action dash, you have the 90 feet of movement, and then if you bonus action dash on top of that, you'll have 120 feet of movement if you really want to get somewhere fast.
Hell yeah. One of the other features they get at level 2, the new version anyway, is called Uncanny Metabolism. So when you roll initiative, you regain all of your focus points. So it's once you roll initiative, you get all your points back. And when you do so, you can roll your martial arts die, which is determined by, say, like the D6 all the way through D12, as we stated earlier on. And you regain a number of hit points equal to your monk level plus the number rolled. So at minimum, at level 2, you'll be regaining 3 hit points.
Ooh, the succulent.
Exactly.
I know you're quite sassy. I actually think this is quite good because I think they did something very similar for the fighter or the I can't name that subclass, which I can't. Where you get superiority die back. This when you can regain some. It's not all focus points. This is actually quite
your
good.
Favorite subclass, the Battle Master?
I know.
Yeah.
Battle Master. Yeah. I'm thinking nothing but monk. Okay.
That's super dedicated to this episode. But that ability you can only use once per long rest.
Still,
but I say
think
that like it's a bad thing, but it's not.
Yeah, because it doesn't say an amount, which means come level 20, if you have back-to-back fights, uncanny metabolism. Regain all of your focus points. All 20.
And it's not even that you have to when you roll initiative. If you still have like 15 of your 20 at that point, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But on the next combat, if you've only like 3 left for some reason, you regain them all.
Yeah, it's good. I actually think it's quite good. And there are sometimes like, oh no, but I say that you wouldn't roll initiative again. But if you're doing like a weird little battle thing, depending on your DM, you may have to re-roll initiative. Very good. I like it. I actually think level 2 does a better job than level 1.
It is nice to get healing at level 2 as well.
It's good.
Yeah.
Plus, that small amount of healing at level 2 is quite substantial for having such low health points at that stage.
That's true.
And then come level 3, same as everything, you get your subclass. Those will be covered in another episode or 2. Not more 2, but definitely 2.
Rap. Which ones are we going to be covering over, Dan?
Oh, we'll find out when we start the next episode now, won't we? We want a little bit of suspense. We'll make people come back for this, yeah?
Oh, I see. I feel like we could easily give them the 4 that we're going to... Anyway, you know what they also get at level 3? Deflect attacks.
I thought you meant which ones are we covering next episode. That's why I was being so secretive about it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was alluding to, Dan. I was sneaky about it. But deflect attack, when an attack roll hits you, and it damages, and its damage includes bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, you can take a reaction to reduce the total attack damage against you. The reduction equals 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier and monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can expend 1 focus point to redirect some of the attack's force, and if you do so, choose a creature you see within 5 feet of yourself if the attack was melee, or 60 feet of yourself that isn't behind total cover if the attack was ranged. That creature must then succeed a dexterity saving throw or take damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial die plus your dexterity modifier. And the damage type is the same dealt by the attack.
Yeah.
So many words.
What it was beforehand, Leo? It was a little bit worse.
It was a little bit.
Kinda.
You're so right. What was the comparison to 2014, Dan? Because that's what we do on the show. That's the whole shtick.
It was called deflect missiles, so it was ranged attacks was the only thing that you could reduce the damage of and deflect back. So when a ranged attack is made against you, use your reaction, same as you just stated, and the attack is reduced by a d10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your monk level.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Is magic missile, does that have bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage? It's just force, isn't it?
Force
It's
damage, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just force. So the old deflect missiles then as well is if you reduce the damage to 0, you catch the missile if it's small enough to hold, and you can redirect the attack. But it has the same long and short range as a dagger. So if the enemy is within 20 feet, you roll as normal. You have to make a ranged weapon attack against them. This is the unfortunate beautiful thing. And then up to 60 feet away at disadvantage.
I think that's actually significantly worse, Dan. If I was a betting man, that's awful. That's very. When does that come into play? Except for maybe definitely arrows.
Arrows, technically, if you really want to be a stickler about it, you can technically catch fucking bullets. So someone fired. If you were, allowed guns in your campaigns, like some DMs do. I don't think I've had guns in my main campaigns. Anyway,
no, you've rejected every time
a fucking bullet.
I mean, you've rejected every time I've wanted an antimatter rifle. I'm just saying.
Yes, because we're in a high fantasy game, and when is an antimatter rifle ever in? It's not the kind of setting, and that's the hard and fast rule I've set. Is it's not the kind of setting for a fucking antimatter rifle.
You haven't seen them in Skyrim?
No.
Yeah, playing unmodded.
Yeah, the horse with the gold armor. You've never seen that? Wild.
Someone is spending way too much time on the Bethesda mod place.
But no, that's much better. I actually quite like this. It definitely gives karate vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely more Bruce Lee because he did really camp shit. Not that I disagree with it, if you get me, but he did some really goofy shit, which I'm here for. You got to do the goofy with the serious. Yeah, no, much better.
And
Makes more
to
sense.
give you a little bit of a teaser, this ability gets better later on.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Daniel.
So Kane, tell me what they get at level 4.
More.
Oh no, yeah,
Asking
level
me
4.
to read. Yeah.
Would you like me to read?
It's okay, I got it. Wait. Do they get their... Yeah, yeah, I see it. They get
You were
their
supposed to do your
abilities...
homework.
I can't read.
Now time for your reading section.
Yeah, so it's-
Like, yeah, sorry, go on.
You're okay. Starting at level 4, they actually get their first ASI.
Woo! What else?
They also gain slow fall. So you can use a reaction when you fall to reduce the fall damage you take by the amount equal to 5 times your monk level. So 5 times 4 is 20.
That has not changed. It's the exact same as before. They've just reduced the wording. I'm still convinced, and Leo has heard this to death, so has Josh. They're just saving on ink and making things more concise and, to the point for less confusion. Which just helps with Leo in terms of, I think, the fighter and some of the druid things.
Yeah, I think what they've done is to stop players from being like, well, it could be interpreted like this, where rules as written is more rules as interpreted, which they're trying to eliminate, which makes sense. Because you don't want to be continuously challenged, like, it doesn't say necessarily, it just says an attack, not melee or ranged.
But what about rule of cool? Looks thick.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it?
Well, now that's the only fight they have to do with their player. And also, just using extra words to seem fancy. They don't need to anymore. D&D's too popular. Hence the podcast.
Hence the many podcasts.
The many. We're not the only one.
No, surprisingly enough. I mean, like, we thought we had the monopoly on this shit.
That's why I came on.
Who the fuck are these critical rail people?
God. I hate you so much.
I don't know how you thought of even using those vowels incorrectly.
Yeah.
I thought of how can I mispronounce Critical Role the most to just cause
You just said
pain
rail.
in both myself and Kane because I hate myself for pronouncing it like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You said it.
Then we'll move swiftly on to level 5, and I've got an easy one. They get an extra attack, just like last time. Dan, what else happens at level 5?
They can attack twice. Hooray. Well, they can technically attack twice. Now they can attack 3 times. And next thing at level 5 is they get Stunning Strike, which has gotten an improvement.
Yurt.
Yeah. So beforehand as well, same as before, what they can do is when they make an attack with a monk weapon or unarmed strike, they can spend a focus point, as they're now called, to attempt to disrupt the flow of energy within an enemy's body. The target must make a Constitution saving throw against your save DC. And if they fail, they have the stun condition until the start of your next turn. That's how it used to be, and that's how it still is. But that's all the old edition has. Now on the new, they have an extra thing. So on a successful save, you still manage to do some sort of disruption. The target speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack roll made against the target has advantage. So you can set up for your rogue's sneak attack.
Or your own flurry of blows.
I said you could Stunning Strike on your... Actually, no, you can't Stunning Strike on your unarmed strike. I can't remember. But just say if that was the last attack of your turn and you have a ranged rogue, you can do some nice shit.
I like that it's a free action.
Yeah,
I like that
it's
a
always
lot.
just always part of the attack action. It's just something you can choose to do once you hit. You don't have to commit to it beforehand. So you don't say, I'm going to spend a key point to make this attack roll and see if I can disrupt the flow. It's just once you hit, Spend a key point. I think
Yeah.
I'm still going to call them key points because focus points just sounds lame in comparison.
It's been that way for me for the last 10 fucking years. It's going to be a nightmare to try and swap it out now.
Yep, old habits die hard or don't die at all.
Bruce Willis, the fifth one. That's right. There are 4.
Isn't there 4 more?
There are 4 diehards.
Damn.
That's like 3 too many. Do you know what? Maybe 2. Maybe 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys ever think of Die Hard 4? Oh, Die Hard 4. Well, there's 17 Fast and Furiouses. I think we could do another Die Hard.
Honestly, you really could. Do you know what? Do you know what I do find funny,
Okay.
right, about the Fast
Yeah,
and
go
Furious
for it.
franchise? It's just kind of come to mind now. The concept of them and a character within basically sum up the plot of the movie.
Go for it.
It's ludicrous.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. I wonder if I ever did shine that big ass forehead.
Potentially.
They had to get more grip on it, Leo.
Well, if it's shiny, it mightn't have as much grip. Maybe if you buffed it out.
Oh,
Anyway,
trust
we're
me,
getting-
a bald
we're
head
getting-
has a lot of grip.
We're getting wildly distracted. This whole conversation started with stunning
So-
strike.
At level 6, you have Empowered Strikes, which hasn't, name-wise, hasn't changed massively, but itself has changed ever so slightly. So in 2024, whenever you deal damage with your unarmored strike, it can deal your choice of force damage or its normal type of damage. Now in 2014, it was worded kind of slightly differently, where they would count as magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance or an immunity to non-magical attacks, which in itself is obviously great. But force damage, not a lot of things have resistances to force, so it's good. I actually quite like it. And the other one's very vague. I don't know, by it being so vague, it can kind of just pass. But I think I prefer it. I know that it's very rare to have vulnerability to force, but still, I like they've slapped a name on it.
I don't understand what's very vague. Why you find the old one so vague, though?
Just fucking non-magical damage. Who cares? I get
mean,
that it
yeah,
come like
because-
level 6.
And like
That'll
a normal
be a
sword,
thing.
a normal mace, and say like a normal rapier will deal non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. But it just means that, say, if a rogue is proficient with using a rapier and it attacks with it, it's basically just like its key extends into the weapon, so it overcomes that magical resistance because the weapon attack now counts as magical because their key is, slightly stronger. But this one, as you said, it basically does the exact same thing, but is a bigger change. It's a nicer change, in fact, of just being able to choose to be magical or not.
So nothing
Exactly.
crazy. A little wink for change. Love it. Here for it.
It's big in terms of enemies being absolutely immune to non-magical damage. At least this way, you're still getting something off.
Like myself.
Yeah, you're still getting something else. I'm glad to see we were on the same wavelength there, Leo.
Yeah.
Same.
It's good to know you're
fucking
not alone.
wavelength. You are not alone.
Dan, don't sing more. We'll get copyright striked.
That's why I only do 2
Moving
seconds
on.
whenever I do make a little thing.
Moving on, we then have evasion at level 7. Once
Huge.
again, nothing crazy has changed. There is a small change, but I don't know how applicable it truly is, if that makes sense. So, when you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, and only half damage if you fail. But the new change, before in 2014, that was it. Now in the new change, you don't benefit from this feature if you are incapacitated. Now, granted, I'm not the DM. I don't know how often that truly happens, where one happens with the other. Dan, what do you think?
There are certainly players out there that will argue to death that because the ability doesn't state that they don't benefit from it if they're unconscious, that they can still technically get around it. Or like if they're incapacitated, like say if they're restrained, for example, that because beforehand evasion never stated they didn't take half damage, even though it made sense they wouldn't, be able to benefit from it, they'd still argue to death that it would, because the ability, rules as written, doesn't state that. This is just clarification on how the ability was, in my opinion, supposed to work. So on paper, it's a nerf in a slight sense, but it makes sense. Because beforehand, if you were incapacitated, you just failed dexterity saving throws outright, which meant, according to evasion rules, you'd only take half damage.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kane? Is this game breaking for you?
I wouldn't call it game breaking. It is nice that they clarified it, because unconscious creatures are only knocked out. You still have control of your mind, so therefore you can still make wisdom saves, constitution saves while being knocked out. Again, I would be against this for a dex save because it involves moving. You're an unconscious person, cannot move. I'm also realizing now as well, the people that are trying to fight against the dexterity saving throws are probably thinking of innate reflexes for unconscious creatures. Like, you know, the whole scene in, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it's when Doctor Strange puts Spider-Man into his astral, like, soul out of his body, and the body keeps on moving.
Oh, you mean No Way Home?
Yeah, No Way Home.
Are you describing spider senses?
Yes.
I believe it's actually patented as Peter Tingle.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be gross.
Hey, the movie calls it Peter
know?
Tingle, alright?
I know, but now my ears need to be put on the register just hearing it.
You're welcome.
So I can see why people were fighting against it anyway, but I'm glad they clarified and just, put it down there in fine writing.
Yeah, so am I. So am I. And then, so what happens come level 9?
Level 9 is quite nice.
Yeah.
You have a feature called acrobatic movement, so while you're not wearing armor or shield, you can run up walls or vertical surfaces or across liquids without falling. So you don't sink to the bottom of the water, you won't fall off the wall, you can just run up them, run along them, and just cross it over. Doesn't mean anything for you, doesn't impede your movement in the slightest. Do you want to feel like this fictional character called Jesus and walk along water? You can too at level 9 monk.
What I like as well inside this is they say you can only run across liquids on your turn without falling during the movement. So as soon as you stop moving, you're gonna fall.
It's like, hold on, I have to sneeze.
But it's okay because you have slow fall as a monk.
Slow fall doesn't apply to liquid, because you won't take damage if you just float to the
True,
bottom.
but if you're running up a wall and you stop on the wall.
Ah, yes, someone just says hold person. One of the other abilities that not necessarily they got rid of, but they just changed, is before in the old edition you had a feature called Stillness of Mind. So starting at 7th level, you can use your action to end the effect of Charmed or Frightened on yourself. It was a whole action, it was a bit shit. It's now mixed into the 10th level feature, Self-Restoration. So through sheer force of will, at the end of each of your turns, you can choose to end a charmed, frightened, or poisoned condition on yourself. And in addition, if you're using, more survival rules, I don't, because I know it's a pain for me to keep track of. So I know it would also more than likely be a pain for my players to keep track of. Foregoing food and drink doesn't give you levels of exhaustion. Hooray! I don't need to eat.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. But one of the new abilities they got, and it's really, really cool, is their other 10th level ability called Heightened Focus. So your flurry of blows, your patient defense, and your step of the wind, all things that you would be traditionally spending your key points on, get a little bit of a buff. So first and foremost, which is really cool, flurry of blows, when you spend your 1 key point to activate it, you make 3 unarmed strikes instead of 2.
You mean focus point?
I'm still going to call it key points.
Ah, I see.
Fuck off with this focus point bullshit.
Hey, I'm not the one who wrote it.
Neither am I.
I'm just the one who decided to make a podcast talking about it.
But three attacks instead of 2, fairly simple, but a big upgrade. With your patient defense, when you Spend your key points to activate patient defense. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die, which at level 10, I believe, level 10 is a d8, so you'll get a maximum of 16, minimum of 2. 10 HP, we take that, it's free shit.
Who doesn't love free poop?
Who doesn't love free poop? Just a little bit of free poop.
Not a lot, just a little.
I'm going to fling my free feces in your direction.
Oh no.
And then with your Step of the Wind upgrade, when you spend your key point to activate Step of the Wind, you can choose a willing creature within 5 feet of yourself that is large or smaller. And you move that creature with you until the end of your turn. And that creature's movement doesn't provoke opportunity attack. You can just yoink someone with you as you take Step of the Wind and just bring them with you.
Hey, bring them up the wall.
Bring them up the wall? Yeah, because you can move up walls.
It makes sense for the whole class that because we've seen it in a couple of, especially back in 2014, where they'd kind of just abandon their, oh, this is the cool thing for this class, and then we're going to do something else, and then do something else. And it's like it's kind of nearly maneuvering the player to play with the different styles because they are equated to that level. We've seen it a lot more. Obviously, we're on level 10, double digi, what? But we've seen a nice trend where they're giving relatively, I don't want to call them broad, but a large spectrum of potential options to choose from. Like, those 3 abilities are very different, but kind of allowing you to pick and choose which 3 and then making those 3 better and better and better, which I like. We've seen it a couple times. They're keeping doing it. I'm enjoying it.
Keep on it. It's a wonderful little change, taking something that's already there, as you said, and just making it a little better. And not even a little, just a lot better.
Keep on keeping on.
Exactly. What do you think of those little changes for your beloved monk game?
An improvement is always needed. This is like, it just keeps getting better with monk class. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of fall off to monk, and this is why I love it so much.
There's very little fall off. To be honest, it's really good. Yeah, so one of the abilities they actually lost was their 13th level Tongue of the Sun and Moon, which just meant that you can understand all spoken languages, and any creature that can understand a language can understand what you say.
That's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, like that. It never made sense to me to have it in the first place.
Never made sense for you to be able to understand who the fuck you're talking to.
Well, no, just like flavor-wise. Say I am like really role-playing my character, and all of a sudden at 13th level, I know every single language in existence. No,
you don't know every single language in existence. It just means that you can understand who you're listening to.
That's the same thing.
It's not, because as soon as you're not talking to them anymore, you can't speak that language.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing, motherfucker.
It's basically the magical equivalent of just having inbuilt Google Translate.
Yeah, it made the class very confusing, if I'm being honest, as a structure. It's like, why? What it's replaced with makes way more sense for what the monk wants to be.
Their level 13 feature is Deflect Energy. You can now use your Deflect attacks against attacks that deal any type of damage, not just bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. So you can now use it on Magic Missile if you wish.
You can do it on any attack.
Mm-hmm. Say the barbarian throws a giant barrel at you, deflect it.
Deflect it.
Play catch with the father you never had.
Deflect a giant gunpowder barrel. Oh man.
Let's say a mugger wants to throw his hefty mother at you. Deflect energy.
Deflect the mother.
I'm gonna deflect energy because I claim no negative energy from this post.
It just makes a lot more sense. It's far more clean. I like it. Very much an improvement. Yay.
Indeed it is. Yeah, so their 14th level ability, Diamond Soul, has changed names to Discipline Survivor, which effectively has the exact same things. Your Mastery of Key grants you proficiency in all saving throws. And whenever you make a saving throw and fail, you can spend a key point and re-roll it, and you must use the new roll. Exact same thing, they've just changed the name.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
Yeah, proficiency in all saving throws is fucking huge.
Yep.
You're almost never really going to be failing, and whenever you do, you can just spend a point and re-roll it. It's inbuilt luck.
Bet on that. I'll get to fail, don't you worry.
And also, once again, reaction, not a reaction.
Exactly, actually, yeah. Good point. You don't have to spend any of your resources to do it except a key point. You don't spend any of your
Which at
actions,
this
bonus
stage-
actions, or reactions.
Yeah, at this stage, you'll have 14 of them. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. just a wee bit. And at level 15, beforehand, they used to have something called Timeless Body. It means you just can't be aged magically, you can still die of old age, and you no longer need food or water.
Oh, thank God for that.
Simple as, yes.
Because what I'm worried about when I hit level 15 in Monk is how youthful my appearance will constantly look towards the end of the campaign.
I need to keep up this perfect appearance. Or you could just do what other folks do and just succumb to vampirism.
True.
Then you really.
But there's the whole daylight thing.
Yeah, but just do it like Baldur's Gate 3. So what they get instead at level 15 is something called Perfect Focus. When you roll initiative and don't use Uncanny Metabolism, which is what you can use to regain all of your focus points on an initiative roll, is you regain focus points until you have 4 if you have 3 or fewer. So if you have next to no key points left, you can regain up to 4. Not up to 4, you just regain key points until you have 4. Actually, wait, that's the exact same thing as I said the first time, up to 4.
I think it's fine. I think it's a bit. I don't know, but there's a lot of other good shit around it, so it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's better than Timeless Body. Don't get me wrong. That was fucking pointless.
If you have like none of these focus points going into battle, this is quite big for getting some sort of way to do something back into the fight that you're about to go into. You will never be spent.
Surely you just use Uncanny Metabolism.
Yeah, but you could, for example, in this scenario, have already used it.
Yeah.
You could be at a point where
Like,
you're stretched thin and your DM is just interrupting all of your long rests.
That's true. I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. It's not. I guarantee it's the ability you won't make no use of. That you're very happy it's there. It's just, it's a solid ability. It's not completely fantastic. It's not game breaking. It just gives you stuff to use if you've nothing.
It's a failsafe.
It's a failsafe.
You know what's
exactly.
interesting? I actually think it's the ability you're going to forget you have.
Until you don't.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say, I think it might be used once, but you know what? It's better than fucking not dying. It's not, what is it? Not aging? I don't fucking care.
Yeah, just a Timeless Body.
Timeless Body. Stupid.
Yeah. Their 18th level feature has changed quite a bit. I don't know for the better, but what it used to be is you can use your action to spend 4 key points and become invisible for a minute, and during that time you have resistance to all damage bar force. And additionally, you could spend 8 key points to cast Astral Projection without needing material components, and when you do so, you can't take other creatures with you. So that was something that was cool. It was a hefty cost to your key points. I don't necessarily know how useful Astral Projection could be. I don't think I've ever messed around with that spell.
I've used it once, and I'm almost fairly certain it was kind of It's like, yeah, okay, I'm out of the fight now that I'm like inside the astral plane, but I can't heal now because no one's with me. And I'm just kind of here in a safe space, but I'm alone, you know?
Super fair.
It's great to get out of something, but you're abandoning your entire team.
Just a tad. But what it's changed to is something called Superior Defense. So at the start of your turn, you can spend 3 key points, and for 1 minute, until you have the incapacitated condition, and during that minute you have resistance to all damage except force. So in a way it's an upgrade, because it doesn't require your action, it's just at the start of your turn, it's free shit, and as we keep saying on this fucking podcast, free shit is shit we take.
That's a very good point.
And it's for a minute. You're not invisible, however. You just have resistance to everything bar force, which is quite fucking good. I think it was nice that they just took out astral projection because, as Kane said, and he's the
Yes.
resident monk guy here, he's used it once, and even then it was.
Kane,
meh.
I have a question for you. So
Yes.
it's no longer an action. It's a free action,
Yes.
and one less focus point is used. It's 3 instead of 4, but you don't have invisibility. Is that
Correct.
Is that a nice enough trade? Like, get rid of the action, but you also get rid of the invisibility.
Invisibility is redundant in this sense because you're going to go in for an attack anyway. As soon as you make that attack, invisibility breaks. This is the 3rd level invisibility, not greater invisibility.
Yeah. So even just having advantage on maybe that first hit potentially. Yeah. No. This is an improvement. I'm trying to.
Yes,
think, is there any way this isn't?
I know they've gotten rid of both of those spells, but to me, I'm probably going to get advantage somehow from the rest of my team. Either one of them is going to cast Fairy Fire, one of them's going to Draconic Shout. So I'm going to get advantage somehow. I shouldn't be in a position where... And also at this point in time, I can't see myself missing an attack. I have a good plus to hit, so I should be fairly maxed out in my dex. I have strong armor, and I have probably movement speed of a god.
Also, just to say, you're going to give yourself advantage potentially with the stunning strike, because even if they succeed,
Yeah, true,
keep it
actually,
halved,
yeah.
and the next attack made against them has an advantage. So I'd say all around
That's true.
superior defense, in my opinion, is just a straight buff.
Yeah, and then I don't know whether or not to go. I don't know. Level 19, we got the epic boon, of course. Love the new edition of these. Yes, guzzle, blah blah blah.
Guzzle, blah blah
Just
blah.
lose-
That's what you're going with.
Yeah, and it's like you can pick up the boon of irresistible offense, which will help. Also, you'd obviously put it into dexterity. You'd increase it by 1, but gives you a maximum of 30, which is swell. And then this'll kind of work better with the level 20 ability as well, where your dexterity is just going to be ridiculously high. It ignores resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Bludgeoning, piercing.
Yeah.
Piercing, which is swell. And then if you do roll a critical hit, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to the ability score increased by this feat, which will be dexterity, which come level 20 will be much higher than you think. And then the extra damage type is the same type as the attack. So I think you can do some lovely combinations. You can even do the movement boon if you want to be zippity zooming around the gaff. I think the epic boons there's lots of interesting connections you can make with the monk.
100%.
Especially the more streamlined version of the monk that we have now instead of this fucking. I have no issue being confused by 2014, considering because we've spoken about it and we've all gone that's stupid, and I'm like, cool. The monk guy says this is stupid, delightful. I was like, am I missing something? I spent the whole time during monk being like, am I missing a weird connecting thing where the magical age thing, like. Is this like some fucking Joey shit where we use the time wizard to make Thousand Age Dragon? Where's the Thousand Age Dragon?
I think they were like slowly running out of things to do with the 2014 rules and got a little bit off track with, oh yeah, a monk is meant to hit stuff. Whether now they have fixed it and monk actually do monk stuff.
Monk do a lot of monk stuff. And speaking of monk stuff, their level 20 ability, oh boy, it got a fucking upgrade.
What was it before, Dan?
Beforehand, when you rolled for initiative and had no key points, you got 4. That now happens at level 15. It sucked. It was awful. For a capstone ability, it bloody sucked. Now, when you hit level 20, your dexterity and wisdom increases by 4 to a maximum of 25.
Maximum? Yeah.
Not if
Do
you
you know
take the boon irresistible offense, then it's up to 30.
Yep.
But do you know what this means for your dexterity and wisdom? Or not your dexterity and wisdom, your AC. Because your dexterity and wisdom increases by 4 points each, so does your AC. Because increasing a ability score by 4 increases the modifier by 2. And since your unarmored defense is calculated based on your dexterity and wisdom modifiers plus 10, you get an extra 4 AC.
And you're to hit based off of dex.
Exactly. This is basically exactly what the barbarian got with their strength and constitution increase.
Yeah. It's very good.
It's very good. It's simple, but it's so fucking strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I got very confused about the monk at the start. I do blame the 2014 rules. They were stupid and confused me. But this is one of the first classes where I'm like, okay, let me hear the subclasses, but I'm sold. I want to try out monk.
Okay. And speaking of Leo, I think this is the perfect opportunity now to give what we feel would be this base class's score out of 10.
I think I give, but I'll say, because especially for the class, we normally compare it. So like 2014 is like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Very confused, very like decent at the start, but gets very confusing. It begs to be multi-classed because it's so wank near the end. I want to give this like an 8 or a 9. I don't believe in 0.5s, so I'm gonna give it an 8. I think. I'm excited. I want to see subclasses. I want to see how the subclasses work with it. But so far, like at the start, I got a bit worried because very early on we're using a lot of our reaction for a lot of these, and I'm like, we're gonna run out of reactions. We only have 1 per turn, and then everything just became free. Everything just started becoming a free action, which is so huge. Not even a bonus action. It's just, when you roll initiative, just fucking get it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? So I'm very engaged. Very engaged.
All right.
So,
Jane, what are you thinking?
I'm liking the new core rules for monk. It makes so much more sense. It's what a monk should be from the get-go. I have no clue what the ending of all this bullshit was back in 2014. They were smoking some hookah or some shit, man.
So they were smoking more than just a fucking hookah.
You can put many things in a hookah, Dan.
It's fair. Valid point. I retract my statement.
Yeah, so honestly, I give this a solid 9 out of 10, and the fucking bullshit that was the 2014 rules that can stay at a 4.
Wish.
It was good at the start, and then it just falls off as a base class.
Hey, but you're only 1 away. You're 1 plus or minus me. I completely agree. I get where you're coming from. If Dan turns around and says this is a 7, that's when I laugh.
7 is my favorite number so far.
Like I think I gave Barbarian a 9, and I know that class, so I know exactly how everything works. I don't necessarily with Monk. Like that could go up. I get 9. 9 is fair.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Dan?
I'm thinking this is going to be my first and one of my very few 10s.
Ooh.
Because the more I'm looking at all these abilities, they all work really well. I can't name exactly an ability that won't be useful in every scenario that it comes up in. Stunning Strike got a huge buff. You have your extra attacks, the extra buffs to Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, Step of the Wind, being able to heal yourself from level 2, deflect so much more with deflect attacks. You still have your proficiency in all saving throws. You get so many more opportunities to be able to regain your key points, being able to be resistant to all damage for 3 key points except force, and just having a huge dexterity and wisdom score increase. This class has it all for every single level of play.
And what about 2014?
2014 solid 8. There's a few abilities in there that don't exactly make sense for it to have.
Did you say a solid 8?
An 8?
Monk was fun. That's my
okay,
opinion.
it was fun, but did it make sense?
I think you've just lowered the value of your 10
I was about to say
so quickly.
Hold on. My 10 has extreme value, and again, I thought this was opinionated. Thank you very much. I understand we gave Josh shit for his rating of the Circle of the Sea, but we accepted his opinion.
Yeah, sorry,
Monk
no,
was
no,
fun,
sorry.
and as we said, Kane, there are some abilities on Monk, the old Monk, that didn't make sense. That's why it's an 8. It's still really fun to play.
It's fun to play because of its innate fighting styles. I'm going to say that, which you get at level 1, by the way.
I'd say it's fun to play from all of the abilities that you get, bar a few.
Okay.
And that's my
no.
stats on it. There's quite a few, and there's a few in there that definitely don't make sense for it to have, but it's fun.
We listen and we don't judge.
What I've heard is we listen and we judge fucking heavily.
Well,
Absolutely.
no, that's why I'm now instigating that we don't judge, and we'll judge him at the end of the recording.
Yeah, and that's when I jump off.
You can't escape me, Dan.
I can. There's a nifty little
you can.
hang up button. Disconnect.
Kane's
But I'm your family.
All right, Dom Toretto. All right, thank you to our sponsor.
Yep, love honey. I assume I wasn't the only one with a vibrator up their butthole. No, just me.
Thank you, Love Honey, for sponsoring Leo.
The reggae rectum rigifier. I don't know what a rigifier
That
is.
explains why
but
you
if
go
you're-
"Arrrr" so much, because you're just rolling the 3 R's of the reggae rectum rigifier. And I think with that, folks, we've given this class just enough love. Honey.
Yeah. Yes, that, dear listeners, I think brings us to the end of another session where the dice are hard, the jokes are harder, and our standards are at an all-time low. If you enjoyed this chaos, be sure to follow and subscribe. And if not, at least we finished, even if you didn't. Goodbye.
Ta-ra, motherfuckers.
Adios.